What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol SRNE for Sorrento Therapeutics. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will, of course, be an update. We've talked about this stock extensively on the channel, predominantly back here in its quote-unquote heydays of, actually trying to become an uptrend. From there, obviously, the chart has deteriorated, and the main thing to talk about on today's session is the fact that we broke down underneath our final support that we had mapped out at $5.25. If I scroll to the left, you can see we can't even get that on this chart here. So let's go ahead and flip to something like, let's actually go to a 2-year weekly and look left here to find the next level. So that one's obviously given up. That was the bottom from here, which led to a little bounce, something like this. And underneath, it's kind of all about this level. And I actually like this a lot because what you'll notice is we had a prior resistance, we get a break, retest, and hold, and then it runs for a nice little move. So all things considered, $4.22 is the next downside target. And just to sort of a word of caution, really, if we grab a little bit more time, I want to make sure I'm not misleading you here. If we zoom in a little bit, there's really not a whole lot off to our left until after that. We get into around $3, nice even round number. The reason I picked that, support from here, resistance, resistance, support once it was broken, resistance in here. It's a ways to go to the downside. And when we're talking about a stock that is now priced at sub 5, that's a huge move in terms of percentage points, and you don't want to be wrapped up on the wrong side of some sort of breakdown like that. So back down to the daily to talk in terms of structure, the Friday candle would certainly not indicate that there will be any kind of bounce. Now, sure, you could make the argument that it's a little bit overextended, a little oversold, that maybe there will be a dead cat bounce, and that's fine. If you do believe that that's going to happen, your must-watch number is quite simply the back test of $5.25. If we get here and we start resisting, basically printing inverted hammers, indecision doji candles, right? Basically things that make you question the strength of the buyers, then it's likely it was just a little bit of a bounce, and we will continue on our merry way to the downside here inside of Sorrento. What I want to do is take a closer look at the 30-minute intraday time frame session just to see if there's anything else we can learn about the price action in here. And if we come in from the high of the 930 bar down to the low of the first, significant move that was here, what you'll notice is that there was no real attempt to get to the 38.2 on the little bit of dead cat bounce that we've already seen. And in fact, we rolled over and set a new low into the end of the day. So if we come in from the high down to the true low and look at this, obviously this is even before your 38.2. So there's a lot of room for bearish consolidation in Sorrento right now. And again, I would even argue that anything that remains under 525 is technically bearish consolidation, right? You could get a daily bar that prints something like this in indecision doji. Could even look like a hammer as long as it's not, significantly distended underneath today's low or Friday's low, then this is just bear flag consolidation. A breakdown of these lows gets us closer to that $3 target, which we mapped out from the, 422 target, and then it was 3 on that weekly time frame chart. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, are we even going to short this thing? Coming on over to the trade tab, I would imagine that this is a hard to borrow stock. Maybe it's easy to borrow with your broker, so you can look into that on your own, but you're probably not going to short the shares. And if you look at the options volume here, just absolutely horrendous. And maybe that'll pick up when the markets actually open come Monday morning, but definitely not something I would want to be involved in. If you look at the at the money strike here, or the slightly in the money strike, a little bit of a spread, really more spread on the right out of the money. So at the money strike here, about a 6-cent spread on a $15 option. I mean, it's not perfect, right? But that's about roughly a 50% spread on the option. Just not something that I would encourage anyone to look for to, actually try to play this thing to the downside. You're just going to avoid longs. Sorrento really not looking like an attractive opportunity for any sort of bounce as of right now. It would really require some sort of pattern. So it could be a double bottom, touch 1, 2, break of the neckline takes you back higher into the resistance trend line. Could look like an inverted head and shoulders. So something like this. Again, neckline takes you for a break back into some upper target, but it would need to be the pattern, right? You're not going to speculate on this until we actually get a pattern where you know where your risk is, you know where your entry point is, so on and so forth. Sorrento, as of right now, not seeing it as an attractive opportunity. If you enjoyed the video today or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.